River Crocraft walked into Seattle like he was picking up where he left off. Back to the Pacific Northwest. Back to where it all began. But that return, it didn't even get a proper first chapter. Seattle didn't wait long. Non-football injury designation. Contract terminated. Thanks for nothing. And now he's out there again, drifting, like a name that was always just outside the headlines. You remember River. He wasn't just another jersey on the sideline in Miami. He was one of those guys who looked sharper than the depth chart ever gave him credit for. Coaches noticed, teammates respected. Tyreek Hill even spoke up about how locked in the dude was. But reality never bent for him. The regular season didn't leave him much room. 29 games, 1 start, 25 catches, just under 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's what's left in ink. But even that doesn't tell the story. One of those TDs came in that insane 42-38 win over Baltimore that game. Another came the next week, Buffalo, the grinded-out 21-19 war that made people start to believe maybe this Miami team had something real. Crocraft was part of those moments. Not a footnote, not just filling space. He was there, part of the spark. And then came 2023, another preseason, another fight to keep the dream alive. Washington Commanders, meaningless game on paper. Except he scores. Except he gets crushed. Shoulder injury. And just like that, his 2024 starts bleeding out before it ever starts. That's the kind of break you don't ice off. It wasn't just Crocraft. This offseason, the Dolphins watched 5 wide receivers walk. 2 found homes, Crocraft in Seattle briefly, Braxton Berrios to the Texans. D. Eskridge came back. Anthony Schwartz and Grant Dubose are still floating around, unsigned, maybe waiting, maybe done. The room changed. The tone shifted. And the funny thing? River might not have been a game changer, but the locker room felt different when he was there. There's something to be said about the guys who grind, who prep, who don't sulk, who still show up even when the ball almost never goes their way. You don't always replace that energy. Sometimes you don't notice it's gone until the room feels colder. Over in New York, another ex-Dolphin got the axe. Thomas Morstead. Yeah, that Thomas Morstead. The punter who bailed Miami out in 2022 more than once. You remember the 74-yard punt after that botched safety against Buffalo? That wasn't luck. That was cold-blooded execution in a moment that begged for panic. He gave Miami field position when the team had no business having any. He bought them breathing room. He helped secure a win. That mattered. Jets let him go. Just like that. Youth movement, they said. Makes sense on paper. He's 39. They want fresh legs. But you don't punt experience. Not when it still delivers. His 2 years in New York, 48.2 yards per punt. That's not fading. That's not washed. That's just overlooked. And here's the kicker. Miami isn't looking for a punter. Not even close. They've got Jake Bailey still hanging on. And they went and signed Ryan Stonehouse. That's 2 guys already circling each other for the job. No vacancy. No whisper of Morstead coming back. Door closed. That chapter, too, might just be over. So here's where we are. 2 former Dolphins, both out of work. Both cut loose not for lack of talent, but because the game isn't fair, and the league's got a short memory. Doesn't matter how respected you were, how steady, how often you got it right. You're either part of the plan, or you're part of the past. You think back to Crocraft, not flashy, not loud, but precise. That counts. In a room full of alphas, having a guy who just runs the route, nails the playbook, never asks for the spotlight, that's glue. That's what holds depth together. It's also what gets forgotten first when injuries strike, when rosters shuffle, when younger, faster bodies walk in. Seattle didn't give him time. Injury in the wrong place, wrong moment. Out he goes. Doesn't matter that he was back home. Doesn't matter that this could have been the next chance. It's over before it begins. And with Morstead, the league sends another message. Reliability doesn't sell tickets. Doesn't matter that he outperformed half the guys younger than him. Doesn't matter that in the muddiest of moments, he punted like a sniper. He's not part of the next wave. So he's not part of the plan. This is the league. This is what it does. But let's be real. Fans remember. We remember. We remember Crocraft holding onto that ball with 2 defenders on his back. We remember Morstead flipping the field when nobody else could. You don't just wipe those images away, even if the stat sheets try to make them disappear.